Underscore Alex.
Yeah.
Fera Jacques. Fera Jacques.
Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to watching the Nerdcore podcast number 361, 361. What's it called? 365 will be coming soon. 365 Mafia, right? You know, I want to throw up a reference in there. Yeah. And as always, it's the nerd. You kind of hear the host of the show on my wonderful co-host, Young Yoda.
Sup, everybody. Welcome to the OG original. Yeah.
Brad doesn't know.
I didn't know how to finish that.
Yeah. Today we're going to be kicking off our new month here at the Nerdcore, and that is Coming of Age month here, where we look at films in the style, in the genre of coming of age.
For all those kids going back to school, kind of, sort of, maybe, who knows? It's up in the air at this point.
Yep, you're going to the Zoom class of 2020.
Go to school, kill your grandma. You know, is that kind of year. What are you doing?
Trying to charge my phone.
Oh, okay. I thought you still had your water bottle, and you're like, like,
yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
I'm trying to charge my phone. Today we'll be reviewing Celine Sciamma's 2007 film, her directorial debut, and her directorial debut, Water Lilies, which is available to watch on the Criterion Channel. Brad, this was your first time watching something on the Criterion Channel, right?
I actually, this was my whole thing. Like, I didn't watch this yesterday. I just watched this. So I get home right from work. I take the dogs out, feed the dogs, you know, normal dog ownership thing. And then I go up to my smart TV. I'm like, maybe Criterion Channel will be an app on it. Who knows?
There's no app.
There is.
There is?
There is on Google Play. There is an app. It's on my TV. I'm linked in. I got Criterion Channel on my TV.
What?
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me I can't play it on my damn Fire Stick? Well, Brad, there's a lot of Kurosawa on there.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That you probably haven't seen yet.
Mm-hmm. Like you guys aren't seeing me for the next, couple months.
Yeah, there's a lot of Kurosawa on there.
Bro, where's your co-host? All you got is this Luis guy. He just likes Venom all the time and Suicide Squad. What is this?
Yeah. So how was your first introduction with Criterion Channel? You enjoy it?
It was good. It was great quality. It's better than me sitting in front of my monitor because this chair is not the most comfortable. I need to get a new chair. Like I think all of us need a new computer chair at this point.
Yes.
Like it's gone through 3 or 4 years of this, so I can understand my ass destroying this thing,
screaming for a new chair.
Yeah, so it was nice to sit on the couch, plug it on my smart TV, go right to it, do a search, pulls it right up. I just searched water lilies was the first one. I'm like, boom, there you go.
Oh, yeah. So one of the cool thing is that, excuse me, no one the microphone. Yeah. One of the cool thing is that they actually break stuff up they have a directed by Akira Kurosawa part there, and then you click that and it has all of his movies organized. So from the first one, Sonshuro Sagata, part 1, until the last one, that he ever did, that are offered on the Criterion Channel. So,
there's probably a few I think that he did in different studios that may not be offered on there.
Yeah, you won't find Ran on there.
Man, I already own that shit though on one of the streaming. I forget which one I bought it from. Voodoo or some shit.
Yeah, so but it has them all categorized in there, and you can find them all there. So it's gonna be a really and most of the movies that I'll probably be so for next month, once we decide what next month is, a lot of the movies we'll probably find them through some of these streams. So I'm glad that you were able to get Criterion in there, Criterion Channel, because I honestly this is one of my favorite streaming services, and I'm glad that they put this movie on there. Sadly, you had finished it, and I was like, oh, if Brad's still watching it, I don't want to be bothering him while he's watching it, because I don't know if it lets us watch at the same time. So I decided to just watch on my computer because I have the file on me. But
I don't know, maybe I didn't get anything that said you couldn't log in at the same, but maybe I don't know.
I know you can log in multiple devices, but I don't think about watching it at the same time. I don't think it's like Netflix where like
you can have everything going. Like I have ADHD.
Yeah.
I need it on all my streaming.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's like because I'll be watching Netflix sometimes on my profile, and my mom will be watching on her profile. So like I don't know, but whatever.
I mean, Hulu's got like 2, but you gotta be like in the same distance. It's weird.
Mhm.
So maybe Criterion's like that.
It's weird. But we're gonna go ahead and talk about this movie. But I was gonna ask how you doing today.
I mean, other than waking up with my hair like this and no beard, looking like John Lovitz, I'm great. Doing fucking great, man.
I heard they roasted you at work, right?
Whoo, them, man. But I've been at this work for like 10 years, so it's nothing new. When I first started, it was like this because I didn't have the beard when I first started, and so that grew. I actually grew out from them giving me so much shit and me realizing, I look like a perpetual 12-year-old. I kind of need a beard for them to take me serious. So yeah, there was some roasting to be had, and they had a lot of fun at my expense.
Yeah, I still can't get over Tony's. This he looks like the guy who has to go tell everybody that he just moved in.
Yeah, then my wife comes home and is like, "Who are you?" I'm just like, "You want to see my ID?" I'm like, Brenda, you're a dick.
You're a dick. All right. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. I just realized I have like little to no water there, and
don't do that. Your camera's gonna go out of focus again. It took us like 10 minutes to get that stupid thing into focus.
Yeah, it was because I had it on a multi zone, and instead of what's called
yeah. Don't ever do that again because it made me almost like throw chucks. Like, bleh.
I'm sorry, Brad. All right, let's do this. If you have not watched by the way, my iPad's charging, so no noise right now. So sorry, guys. Excuse me. Don't want to burp to the microphone. I just ate dinner like an hour ago. Apparently now it's decided to come up as gas. All right.
Why is it you never do this during the live show? You never fucking burp during the live show. Always during the regular show.
Because I never eat before the live show. All right, so let's get into this, man. If you've never seen Water the Lilies, it did come out in 2007. That's way past our cutoff date. But if you don't care about spoilers, then keep on going. Either way, your spoiler warning is in effect in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Woo, whatever noise you want to make. This is the easiest Wikipedia article to read.
It's literally one sentence.
Yeah. So Water Lilies, or how it is said in French.
Do you want me to go for it?
Sure.
Do you want me to try?
Sure.
Naissance de Puevres.
Puvier?
Nah, I don't speak fucking French, man.
Meaning Birth of the Octopuses.
Yeah.
2007 French drama film and the debut as a screenwriter and director of Celine Sciamma, who is the director of 2019's Portrait of a Lady on Fire. This is her first film that she directed. I believe that she directs another 2 movies after this before she does Portrait of a Lady on Fire. But this is the easiest Wikipedia article to read. I guess I'll just read some more stuff in here. I guess if you want to.
I'm just trying to figure out how they spent 1.7 million pounds on this film.
Yeah, budget of 1.7 million pounds. It debuted on May 17th, 2007, and then it was at Cannes, and then it was released in France later on August 15th, 2007. The movie sits at 1 hour and 25 minutes. Thank you. Last week, so what's it called? The movies were on the longer side.
Perfect.
Thank you.
I mean, it gets points right there just for that.
But yeah. The music is done by Jean-Baptiste Delabière as Paraguan, and the cinematography is done by Christophe Fournier. And edited by Julien Lacqueret. I think so. But yeah, and it stars Pauline Acquat, Louise Blachier, and Adele Haine.
You do this to your fucking self. Like if you would
I know.
choose like movies like Superbad, like Seth Rogen, boom, bitch,
Yeah.
Jonah Hill, like
Yeah, but hey, man, it's important. It's their names that they're
it's
just
true.
different from ours.
It's true. People should watch more films that require them to read. Let's be real here. Like those are some of the best fucking films.
Yeah, if we could just learn how to pronounce names, though, that'd be great. I'm telling you, the Russians are just asking for us to just learn how to pronounce.
That's because they don't have any fucking vowels in their names. It's all consonants. Like what the fuck?
So yeah, I just finished watching this film, like literally like 10 minutes ago, and first of all, thank God it's an hour and 25 minutes. Last week's movies were long.
If this wasn't an hour 25, it wouldn't be happening right now.
Yeah, so thank you, Celine Sciamma, for the length of your film and the editor. You guys made it.
Can I be honest though?
What?
I think it could have gone longer. I would have been fine with a little bit, like 15 minutes longer. I think I would have been fine with that.
Yeah, 10 to 15 minutes longer. Yeah. I think it would have been fine. I think that this movie is definitely a strong showcase to what Celine Sciamma brings to the table in her next couple of movies. I think that this is a really excellent introduction to what her themes are in the rest of her movies. A lot of her movies have to do with gender and sexual identity, and really, about adolescence and stuff like that. Except for Portrait of a Lady on Fire, because that one is based on adults. But this is a really strong showcase of Celine Sciamma's work as a director. The story is very, very interesting. Rarely do you see, especially when we're talking about a director who's an actual gay woman who is actually able to portray this stuff as accurately as it can be, right?
Well, and when you think about it, she probably lived through it.
Yeah, she probably lived through it. So this movie was really interesting. It's no Moonlight, right? It's no Moonlight. It's nothing like that.
But kind of apples and oranges here. Moonlight's totally in a different kind of realm than this. This to me, I think you can bear it more to like 8th grade in a way. That's kind of how I get it. It's like 8th grade, but it definitely goes more into gender and sexuality than 8th grade ever did.
Yeah. So this is a really, really interesting film that talks about these things, and very introspective and very, very, very very what's it called? What's the word I'm trying to say? It has a lot of commentary as to how especially little girls grow up, man, and how a lot of them are really forced to grow up faster,
and how they're perceived in society, or how they're pushed to where they end up in society. This definitely shows that women's feelings get trampled on throughout their whole life, especially during this time, because one, dudes are totally dickheads at 15, 16. They're totally dickheads until probably around the 30s, and some of them don't stop being dickheads.
Y'all can't tell me any different, bro. We are assholes during 15.
15 and 16, total assholes. Like we will run you over and not think twice about it. I gotta say, I really think this also goes into how females can treat other females, and how dudes they were using the young ladies in this. They were, but also Florian was using her sexual prowess and how Marie was feelings about her to get stuff she wanted, and without really, giving anything of herself.
Yeah, and she was very manipulative towards Marie. And
but if you think about it, the male society of that made her aware that she could do that.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, so it's really interesting the way that Celine Sciamma kind of creates the story. So she bases it around 3 different people who are learning about sexuality. On first hand, you have Anne, who is this very, kind of reserved in a way. But no, not reserved, because Marie is the one who's more reserved.
Marie's more reserved. And to me is very, what's the word? Socially inept. In a way, I think, like, she's very she just like I guess Marie put it, like
she just really wants to she just really wants to experience already.
Well, and she's very immature in that she has all she knows is she just wants to be kissed, and ends up being manipulated into not even getting a kiss, just straight to sex.
Yeah,
and I mean, it is really hard to watch because you're like, yeah, this dude doesn't like you at all, but in the end, she realizes that and spits in his mouth.
Which is pretty fantastic.
Which, you know, for most part, yeah, like I get what the scene's saying, but most dudes be like,
"Ew."
What?
Yeah. I mean, it's 15. What would you say? Like,
okay. And that's what he did. He went back and put underwear on his head and danced around with his bros.
Yeah. So, yeah. And so that's Anne. And then you have, of course, Marie, who's very reserved, kind of learning about her sexuality throughout this whole movie.
And can I just say that her style is on point?
Oh, yeah.
She's got the Lacoste. She's got those pink Nikes I want. Like, this girl is on point in the fashion.
Yeah, definitely. And then you have, of course, Florian, who is, of course, the sexualized teenager in this film. The trope of a lot of films when it comes to coming of age, especially. But you know, I think that it's necessary in this because it's actually a piece of commentary on the way that we view it. And so she's the one that obviously the girls make rumors about her being a slut. And she's,
I mean, she is definitely the Phoebe Cates, of this movie. Like now everybody's gonna be looking up Phoebe Cates and seeing Fast Times at Ridgemont High and the whole, you know, opening the bikini. Like she is basically the embodiment in this film in a way.
Yeah, just the very sexualized teenager, the one that everybody thinks is like the slut, but she isn't. She's just somebody who is the easy prey, right? For everybody to kind of stick their notions on.
Well, they think she is.
Yeah.
They think she is, but she's actually a manipulator herself because, like she says, like, oh, I play this dude, and then, but at the end, I just run away. Like she puts it out there, like she doesn't know what she's doing, but really, I think she may not, but in some form, she's learning that if she plays this out, she can get things. Like she got a necklace that Anne gave to Francois, and then Francois gave to her, which, you know, that's totally like, at least Anne stole it, I guess. You know, there's that. She didn't buy it, but I really think Florian is that character. Like she's a manipulator. She realizes that, but it's the society that has made her into what she is. It's over sexualized her. She knows she's pretty. She goes out there and she takes advantage of the situations, takes advantages of people's feelings, and gets them to do what she likes. Like Marie, she basically gets her to take her virginity in a way. So, and that's what I mean. And then you basically end up with Marie, who's still trying to find herself, who just a good person who is just going through life and just trying to find a friend, trying to find someone to love. And she just keeps getting hurt by Florian over and over and over, because to me, I don't know if Florian is a lesbian, if she's bisexual. I think she's bisexual, but she might just be playing that to get what she wants. It's hard to tell. Yeah.
And so, you know, to me, I think, by the way, Adele Haenel plays this character so well. I mean, no wonder Celine Sciamma wants to work with her again after this film. She's an incredible actress.
I think all the actresses in this were good. I mean, definitely Florian, Adele. She had the most screen time, her and Marie. So you definitely got to see them more. But I really think Anne brought this other different aspect of, you know, this is what a good friend is. This is what a good friend should be. Like, she basically got called a burden and she didn't want to see her, and she still shows up.
Yeah, it really does. It's a really interesting contrast between, you know, the women, the teenagers who are forced to grow up faster because they are told that, yeah, you gotta have sex by this time. Especially women, like they're like, you have to be this, very out there sexually woman by this time, and you're kind of forced into this, and it's why, you know, what's it called? There's no actual shock on her face from Floyd on when she's being sexually harassed by so many men in this movie.
Oh no, like she recanters the story or recounts the story. I don't know either or word. Recounts the story of the dude, I guess the janitor, the swimming pool guy, who basically gets in and pulls his cock out. Like, if that wouldn't. I'm glad. I'm so glad I'm a dude because this just isn't like her story. This is like stories that has happened over and over and over to more and more women of every race, ethnicity.
The saddest part of that is that she kind of tells it like if it's something that's normal, that's supposed to happen.
Well, and because that's what I mean. I think she's become normalized that she realizes, she has this sexual power over people. And she can get what she wants from them. Like she was talking about the bus driver. She's like, he'll do what I want. Like, and just said she's a cousin. She got to go where she wants to go. Francois brings her gifts, even though, they haven't had sex yet. But she even realizes that it's come to a point where she will need to have sex. Or at least she thinks she does, but she still doesn't.
Yeah. So then and then I think Marie is probably one of the most interesting ones in here, just how she learns a lot from Florian, but she's really mostly learning a lot from about herself and the friendship that she's ignoring with Anne. And I think that's why that ending is so important, because excuse me,
breathe, bro.
Sorry, man. It's just all my food's coming back up apparently. She realizes that, I just had my first major heartbreak here, but there's somebody over there who's waiting for me, who's always kind of had my back and was kind of waiting for me. And I kind of have been a bad friend. And I really have
not a bad friend. She was an awful friend. Let's get that straight. She called her a burden and said she never wanted to see her again. And she was immature. Like if you call me a burden roll, you probably won't see me ever again. Let's face it.
Yeah. She realized she's been a bad friend and that she should just, leave this girl who obviously doesn't want her, man. She doesn't want her. She's just using her, and she decides to, go to Anne, and they just go back to their friendship. And I think that that's just really important. It's an important thing that Sciamma kind of presents here as a more of like a, there's that underlying sisterhood, even though sometimes we're kind of there, even though sometimes that women are kind of pitted against each other when they shouldn't have to be. And it's because of the patriarchal system that has kind of been in what's it called, embraced, and which has led to a lot of people like Floydon to exist, that they're easily able to manipulate each other and then use them and then just throw them out like that. And it's just this movie is really, really interesting in the way that it presents all of these type of subjects.
This movie's deep like a swimming pool.
Yeah. I will say though, what's it called? I think that this movie, even though it is really interesting, really fantastic, and really well made, I really could have used a little bit of extra time. I also am really interested at the fact that there's absence of parents. Absence of parents.
You weren't the only one who noticed that. Like, they're going to clubs, they're going to bars. I'm like, what the fuck do French parents do? Do they just jet off to some island?
Yeah, I really could have used a little bit more. I could have used a little bit more of a fleshing out in the story with that. Like, how was the life at home? What was there like an openness for Marie's sexuality at home, or was it like something that had to be so closeted? So I wanted a little bit more of the story being fleshed out.
I can see why, Celine probably thought that would have been more of a distraction to the character she wanted to talk about. And like, it was more of a background info anyway. So I can see why Celine would do that, because it's not really relevant to the story, but it just, it pops up in your mind. Like, this is really weird. Like these kids, there's like no one home ever. Like, but then again, being American, maybe it's totally different in France. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you're from France, let us know.
By that time,
do you ever see your parents?
Yeah. And I also got to give a shout out. The way that she shoots the synchronized swimming and like underwater shots. God,
the fucking leg. I didn't know they did that in synchronized swimming. It makes
so
total sense to me
beautiful.
now, but I've never been to the point where I should really know how they float in synchronized swimming.
Yes, there's a really keen eye for selecting these shots that Sciamma gets in this, and it's incredible just the way that she shoots this stuff. And I think that even though I think that this is definitely a precursor to how her film, her filmography expands, because there's something in here that definitely is expanded more, and it's done incredibly well, really, really well in Portrait of a Lady on Fire. The whole gaze, the female gaze, and that gaze of desire from characters like Marie and Anne in here.
And not just that, it's that she puts the characters in the same position sometimes. Like when Marie is sitting there in the beginning just watching Anne dress, and then about I think maybe 45 minutes to an hour, then you have Florian watching Marie dress.
Yeah.
And looking in the same position, looking at the character the same way. So it's I think the way she goes about directing this and having her characters set, and just the way things are made, it does really make this film a lot deeper. In that you're getting like Marie was kind of sexualizing Florian. Now Florian's sexualizing Marie, and So to me that's pretty smart.
And it's more of a gaze of exploration, honestly, more than sexualizing. It's more of it's different. It's just different. And I say this as somebody who's seen Portrait of a Lady on Fire and saw how Heinel's character would gaze at the other character, and it's incredible, man. There's just something really special about the way that Sciamma directs this movie, and it's something that she amplifies more and more in her coming films.
I think it'd be a disservice of this film if we don't talk about the color used in this.
Yeah.
Like the colors are kind of faded there, and then you got the bright suits, and it's all over this film. And it's really amazing how she goes about incorporating color into her film.
Yeah. So I really do think the more I'm kind of talking about this, the more that it kind of sits a little bit more with me. I really, really did enjoy this, and I think that it's a really interesting ground for where Sciamma kind of opens her directing career, because she does write a bunch of other more movies, but this is her first time she directs a movie that she writes, and then after this she would do, I believe, Tomboy.
And you would think a movie that starts out with synchronized swimming would be slower than Dirt. I'm just saying, and it doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't. I mean, this thing it keeps your attention very well throughout this whole film.
Yep. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and give Celine Sciamma's Water Lilies a 8 out of 10. I think it's great ground for where she starts, and obviously she does. She takes this and she takes it even more up to better grounds with her next couple of movies. With at least with the one that I'm talking about is Portrait of a Lady on Fire, because I've never seen Tomboy and I've never seen Girlhood. But after this, I think most of those movies are actually on the Criterion Channel, so I think I'm going to be checking out those other two. So my only complaint really is just a little bit. I need a little bit more fleshing out the story, and I think you could have added like at least 10 to 15 more minutes.
And apparently the sloshing of shoe sounds that you kept hearing that I don't remember at all.
Everybody else heard that. I kept hearing like this weird, like squishy sound with the shoes. It was rather interesting, honestly. But I was like,
that's a new one, like that weird squishy sound.
Yeah, like
that's a new one for the podcast.
Yeah. So whatever. Brad, what are your thoughts on Celine Sciamma's Water Lilies?
I mean, I was surprised I enjoyed this film as much as I did. It's not really one of those that are like my kind of choice in films for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But the story is fabulous. The characters very well done, and I mean I can see why she's gonna have a career that she has after this, because she gets it right in this first one. Like this, she directs the shit out of this film, man.
Yeah,
like it's good.
Not a lot of directors does Brad give the she directs the shit out of it.
Directs the shit out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, and the coloring of the film. I agree with you. I could have gone with it for being a little longer. I mean, I don't say that often with your films for sure. But like, man, I could have cut the shit out of that to 30 minutes and been good. But no, this one, I think they could have gone 10, 15 minutes longer. We didn't even mention the music in this. Like the music is very low key on this.
Yeah, very low key, but really good. I also really like the choice of like music in the clubs. Like it's not some crazy stuff, but it's kind of very like ambient. It makes for those dancing scenes to feel more.
Oh, there was that one rave scene because I remember that one rave scene because my wife like lifted her earphone, looked over, and was watching, and I'm like, no, honey, like don't, no, go back to your computer.
Go back to your computer, please. No. Not today.
I don't know if there's gonna be dicks or assholes in this.
Yeah,
it might be HBO. I don't know.
I don't know, but it makes for some really. The music is very very ambient based, very it's very soothing, but it's very low key. You don't hear it that like it's not really popping out at you. It's like very low key and very ambient. It just really goes with that very very minimalist type of atmosphere that Sciamma is creating.
I think it goes with that low-key anxiousness you get in this film. It's not like 8th grade, which just makes me anxious as fuck. But there is a low-key anxiousness to this film, and I think the music very well complements that.
Yeah.
But again, I think it could be longer. I mean, it's not a perfect film for sure. So with that, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think
8.5.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, man. So that's our review of Water Lilies, and like I said, if you want to watch this movie, it is on the Criterion Channel, and you just go and search it up on there, and they have a couple of more stuff from Sciamma in there. If you do want to watch Portrait of a Lady on Fire, that's not on the Criterion Channel, that's on Hulu, since Neon they have the rights to that one. So, but yeah, that's just you can go find it there if you want to watch it. And excuse me. Yeah, don't eat and do the podcast right after, apparently.
Man, so, you can get the people who play the drunk game seriously, like drunk.
Yeah, I'm really drunk. But thank you guys for listening. As always, we really do appreciate everybody who stops by. Make sure you leave a rate and review on your podcast app of choice. If you're watching this on video on YouTube, make sure you leave a like and a subscribe. If you want to be like the patrons who are able to watch this day early before anybody else, make sure you join the Patreon. At www.patreon.com/nerdcore. You can go to Patreon, but you can go to thenerdcore.com to check out all the reviews and stuff that we've got there, and a lot of other information about us and what we do here and other shows that we do. So, but we got to really thank forgot. I should have probably structured that a little better website before I do Patreon, but we want to thank our Patreon supporters. They're the ones who make this show happen. So we want to thank all of you guys so much. We love you guys. I know I said it on the live show, but I'll go ahead and shout it out again because it should be on the main show. Thank you to Luis Garcia, the stepfather of the network, who joined us on Patreon at the $5 tier. Thank you so much, man.
I mean, if he's finally getting the monthly installments in, jeez.
Child support had to come in somehow, right? Child support had to come in somehow. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining. You'll be seeing your name in the graphic very soon. I just got to get to work on that. I would have done it today, but I lost track of time really bad. So with that being said, I want to thank also our producers and our writers. Our associate producers are Cassie and Sarah. Thank you so much for being wonderful people and being pledged to the $10 tier. Also, we want to give a big shout out to our wonderful executive producers, Grayson Barker, who you can follow at Warlord1bar on Twitter and Grayson Barker 98 on Instagram. And then we have Shane. Where can they find him, Brad?
You can follow our friend Shane at twitch.tv/XSRK or on Twitter at XSRK_.
And then we have our writers, Brown Rice 96 on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. And then, of course, our wonderful Tony at Real Nerdy Dad.
Hey, Tony.
Tony has basically inspired everybody else to start putting topics, right? We got like 5 topics from Michelle that we have to
Michelle came in there, and then Tony came in with a question right after, like, Michelle, can you go into more depth on these first 2 questions, please?
Yeah.
And it's just like Tony just runs Patreon. That's fine.
Tony runs Patreon.
That's Tony's land.
Yeah, Tony's like, hey, You want to see how it's done? Go to the community page. That's how you do it.
Yeah. Get over here. Get over here and write some shit.
Thank you to Michelle for leaving topics. We'll make sure to answer those in the in not this next mini podcast. The next one is
because we still got to watch Insomnia.
Yeah, but the following one. So yeah, but that's 5 topics. So we'll just break them up into 5 next episodes. But yeah, thank you guys so much. And as always, we hope everybody had a wonderful time, and we hope that you're staying safe wherever you are, and you're watching some good movies. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye here. But Brad, you can send them out.
All right, Ro. Thank you being host as always. Thank you to all our listeners, all our Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you to all those who follow us on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all the things. All the things in the interwebs and all that good shit. Love you all. And I guess just to end this, I'll say au revoir. Young Yoda out.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.